Coming to you live from the early morning studios, it is the Sons of Honarchy podcast with your co-host. I am Steve-O at Drunk Shy Sox Fan on Twitter.
And this is Hot Take Tommy. So on this episode of the Sons of Honarchy podcast, you already know we're talking about fucking injuries, baby. So we've got a lot to get through, though. We got some over-unders that we're gonna fly through at the end of the podcast here. But guess what? All this brought to you by
just us. So make sure you rate, subscribe, review. We are on YouTube now, so come join us live on YouTube in the comments every single week. We love your interactions. Thank you for those of you that show up on a regular basis. We appreciate you. And thank you for those of you that listen on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. So, Tom, give me a quick recap of your week, because that's something that I feel like we didn't do last week very much.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't really been catching up on the weeks recently, but yeah, this week was. I mean, it was the it was the last week of me bumming around. I'll say thank you, Beer Garden Jim.
Beer Garden Jim, what is that? Are you
from
Boston now? Beer Garden Jim. Beer Garden Jim.
Beer Garden Jim. So speaking of Boston, fuck them, lost. So that was part of my week. But first of all, this is my last week of being a bum. I wasn't working this week, but I'm starting work Monday morning. I'm going to go take part in society again. So stop asking me about it. But I did a ton of shit around the house. I shampooed the carpets. Dude, look, this is a public service announcement, actually. This is what I'm going to take the time to do. If you have not shampooed your carpets in your home, do it now, because that shit's probably fucking filthy. Just a thought. Anyway, yeah.
Do not have carpets in this place other than our little rugs. So.
I shampooed. This is not the first time I've shampooed my carpets, and the water that came out of that shit, not fun. I was like, motherfucker, I was laying on that carpet the other day.
Pissing everywhere like Todd.
That is blasphemy.
Here's the thing. I have given you like a minute and a half to talk about your week, and you still haven't mentioned that your 5th anniversary was yesterday.
Oh, I was working my way through the week. I did that on Monday. you jackass. And so the next what happened was I was watching now we're fast forwarding to Thursday. Thank you very much. Because we got to talk about the Warriors. My family is they're all huge Warriors fans. So congrats to the Warriors on winning the championship. Steph with the MVP for the finals MVP. Like, that's a big deal. That was the first time he gotten that. We got to start talking about him being one of the best players of all time. I know we talked about him being one of the best shooters of all time, but son of a bitch. Okay,
Jim
we got
us rolling in the comments. Jim. I love this.
If you're wondering why we're laughing, Jim is just dropping comments on us. Anyway, go Warriors. That's all I have to say about that. Steph Curry, definitely one of the best players of all time. We've always talked about him being one of the best shooters of all time, but I'm saying best player of all time. He's up in that conversation, no jokes. And lastly, my second big anniversary, right? Like, I had the 1-year anniversary of my marriage. Now I have a 5-year anniversary of my marriage under my belt as of yesterday. So, marriage, it's going well. Yeah, that's my week. Steve, on to you. See, is this why you don't want to talk about weeks anymore? Is because I take too much fucking time trying to get through my week?
Yeah. I mean, you do take a really long time doing this. I want to give a special shout out to our guy Carrie in the comments. He says it's nice to see you, Tommy, and he hopes that you have a great weekend. He's a little butthurt that I praised Alex more than him last episode when I talked about our former guests. I was talking about how Alex is a better baseball mind than me, you, as well as Carrie. We apparently want more Tommy talk time. He's so full of shit. It's unbelievable.
Because he wants to hear from me. He's full of shit. Yeah, fuck you, Steve. Fuck you.
I mean, he's been full of shit for a while. No, I'll keep my week brief. The school year. The school year has ended for the children. But I am still in the building doing my internship for my educational leadership degree. It sucks. I've been handed a lot of bitch work. And I cannot wait for these 80 hours to be up, because apparently I can't be trusted with anything of significance in the building. So it is what it is.
Well, can you tell the people about the text message that you almost sent to your AP instead of to me?
Okay, that was actually a really, really funny story. So in regard to that text message,
we were planning to go out and do something.
We were planning on going out. I was gonna probably exit the building a little early. We were gonna probably go grab lunch and watch that White Sox Tigers game on that Wednesday afternoon.
Would have been
where
a great
the White
game.
Sox
Would have been a great game to go out and
absolute beat down on the Tigers, right? The Yoan Moncada 5-hit 5 RBI game, which we'll talk about Yoan in a minute as well. But I you text me and you're like, is there any chance that lunch is still happening? I'm going to guess no. And I was like, nah, my AP put me to work. He's keeping me busy. And I was like, you free on Sunday? And then I realized that I sent the text messages to my AP.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just said, ha, 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 back to him. And he was just like, LOLs. So
yeah, because you basically complained about being worked hard to the person working you hard. And it was, but you did say that you were about to follow up with a third text that said it's all bitch work, and you didn't send that one. Thank God.
I did not send that one to my AP.
That one got to the right person.
He has to know, though. He has to know. All right. Well, I think a new segment is gonna have to be TTT. By the way, I gotta give Jim some credit here. Tommy Talk Time. I do not get mistaken for my students,
which is a good thing.
Nice, clean dome here. I'm starting to look older. My younger years, I definitely had that younger look with the disheveled hair and
the that's what qualifies you as a young teacher. Is your hair's messed up in the morning.
And the bright eyes, for sure.
Yeah, you're excited about life.
So
that excitement's gone.
Exactly. Well, I have no idea what the pop culture references are here that Carrie and Jim are making in the comments.
Oh, they don't make sense. It's okay.
But it's apparently Hot Take Steve and Drunk Shy Sox fan Tommy time, because we're a White Sox baseball podcast, baby. So let's hop right into the content for today, Tom. You wanted to I don't even know if this is. Yeah, I'll just let you go for it.
Well, so name of the episode, we're made of glass. It's just facts, dude. So I wanted to just for reference, when everybody talks about how this team is always injured and injuries and all you hear about all year long is injuries. Well, it's because it's like actually happening and it's actually true. There's injuries out the wazoo. We got just active injured list right now. Michael Kopech, Yoan Moncada, as of yesterday, for fuck's sake.
Hopefully
Tim Anderson. Yeah, hopefully today. Maybe he'll be back tomorrow. Whatever. Yoan Moncada, Tim Anderson, Kyle Crick, Liam Hendricks, Yasmani Grandal, Aaron Bummer, Eloy Jimenez, Garrett Crochet, and this is the kicker, Jonathan Stever as well. So, think about how different this team would be with Jonathan Stever right now. But that's
exactly, man. He might be stealing some Jimmy
injuries, not including all the other injuries that have been happening.
Well, I do have to remark on the first one that you mentioned with Kopech. He is slotted as the probable pitcher for Sunday. So,
which is good news. He only missed one start then in that case, basically.
I don't even think he missed a single start because he
missed,
got injured on Sunday. Yes.
Yeah. He missed in quotes because he was taken out after two batters. As he was taken out as soon as I turned the TV on. That's what.
Still blaming you for that one. You almost injured him. You almost pulled a Jordan Miller and
killed Tupac. Yeah.
Speaking of which, during yesterday's game when Giolito gave up the but at first when he gave up the 2-run homer in the first, I was like, Giolito in the first inning, name a more iconic duo. And our guy Alex Rude went in the comments and he said Jordan Miller and Tommy John surgeries. So that was pretty fucking good.
That's a good one. Yeah. Fuck you, Jordan Miller. Just kidding. You're a good guy. We like you.
Yes. We love Jordan, but he is definitely the number one shit getter on White Sox Twitter. But I mean, the injuries have been bad. And this has been an issue for the White Sox ever since Herm Schneider, my favorite jogger, out of the dugout with his little. I mean, even the Tony La Russa run is funny.
The waddle, the quick waddle was always nice to see.
Oh yes,
but the thing about the quick waddle, that you trusted Herm Schneider. There was a lot of conversations around the league about how like the Sox just stay healthy or something. Like maybe I'm making this up, but I definitely remember Herm Schneider being a guy that kept these White Sox healthy. And last year they fired a guy after the end of the season to like address, in quotes, the injury problem that the Sox have had over the last couple years.
And just when you thought it couldn't get worse.
It's literally so much worse. And I mean, you are literally signing guys like Joe Kelly, who's already injured, when you bring him in and he's gone on the injured list twice. And you're signing trading for AJ Pollock, who has a history of being injured and gets injured in the first couple of weeks of the season. So there's two more guys that we didn't list in the current injuries, but have been injured multiple times throughout the season. So yeah, you got to take that into account, that where we're like more injured than we were last year. Yes, we're bringing injury prone and injured guys onto the roster, but still, like, how are you going to fire somebody and then get worse in that department? Like,
well, I think
where
is
perfect. What is going
on? I love that you picked it that, Tom, because that plays perfectly into what my bone to pick is today. Oof, and that bone to pick, oh boy. So honestly, it's with this entire organization. Last week it was Rick Hahn. This week it's with the entire organization. We've gotten nowhere. We're back at square one, I feel like. This is 2016. This has 2016 written all over it. Are we convinced that this team has actually been put in a better position to win than last year? It's almost the same exact team as before, right? The bullpen guys don't add as much value to a 162 game season. You could have gone out and you could have gotten who you wanted, Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah.
You could have gone out and gotten Trevor Story. I know that's a lot of money, but
yeah, that's like so much money, and he wouldn't have been playing shortstop. That's a tough self.
He's not playing shortstop in Boston either.
Yeah, but
he's not playing shortstop there either.
They're going to keep
on top of
Bogart.
that.
Anyway, go ahead.
You think Bogarts is a lot of money? Think about how much money they put into Leury Legend and Josh Harrison. They have they rank 4th in the league right now in money spent at the second base position, because Josh Harrison and Leury Garcia are both considered primary second basemen. Fuck this. Okay. And we brought up the injuries and everything to bring up there, right? We've brought up Tony before. Mm-hmm. We've brought up Rick Hahn. We've brought up ownership, the analytics department. And these guys, I don't even think, with how much talent is on this team, it's not even just the injuries. It's not just the underperformance. I think it goes down to the analytics department.
Yeah.
Like what's Shelley Duncan doing? What is the rest of his team doing? Right?
Just like taking checks.
The wrong people sometimes are being held the wrong people are being held accountable. Not the right people are being called on for accountability.
Yep.
So yeah, I think Julius is right. Regression. And there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
So, and I know the schedule's been tough, but this team still should be better than a 500 ball club. So it's just absolutely infuriating.
We're not a 500 ball club, Steve. That's why Hasbulla is back there behind you.
Still fucking up there.
Yeah, that's a tradition at this point. We keep Hasbulla, a photo of Hasbulla with us every time the Sox are under 500, and there he is. He's been there for a very long time.
Still have not broke that 500 from a week-to-week basis on our podcast.
But that leads us into a question that you had, basically, which is, are the Sox hot right now? That's the question. Are they hot right now?
No, absolutely not. I mean, yes, you went out.
They swept Detroit, Steve.
You swept an absolutely god-awful Detroit team who we should sweep, who we should absolutely own. And yes, winning 3 games in a row on the road after losing 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers and 2 out of 3 against the Rangers. yeah, that's nice. It's a nice little momentum builder. But
Yeah.
that momentum builder has to carry you through the rest of your road stand. And yes, one game, obviously, yesterday is not going to make or break you, right?
But getting
Every game
shellacked
counts,
like that,
but they get absolutely destroyed. Exactly. It wasn't just a loss yesterday. Okay.
it's
It was
demoralizing.
it was a loss of what do you call that? Of
Catastrophic proportion or whatever.
yes, thank you. Exactly. Thank you for being my wordsmith today.
Oh, wordsmith. That's well, it's Tommy talk time, as we've established.
Absolutely.
But it basically gives you like PTSD watching them lose like that to the Astros of all teams at home. Like, it's just we don't need that. We really don't need that. Like, my mental health is already, in shambles. I don't need to watch them lose to the Astros 13-3. Like, I don't need that in my life.
Absolutely. Seriously. I'm glad I didn't watch the game. I mean, I was kind of tracking it on my phone a little bit, just hanging out at home with the fiance. And, I saw they went down early 3-0. And I was like, oh, yeah, Lucas Giolito, first inning. Here we go. Maybe
Worst pitcher in baseball.
Exactly. But then, he gets through it and Pollock hits the 3-run bomb. And I'm like, holy shit. Speaking of which, who's hot? And
okay, here we go.
I'm gonna get into our comments later. But I'll tell you who is hot is AJ Pollock, baby. Warming up down the stretch, as we said before. And I got to credit our guy, Alex Rude, for saying this. His June and July OPS plus number in his career is 140. Okay. That's 40% better than the rest of the league, but then the league average, right? I mean, this dude raking in his last 7 games, 394, 444, 545 in his last 7 games. Okay. OPS plus basically of 1,000, right? Pretty fucking good. And then on top of that, his numbers over his last 14 are actually pretty similar. It's like
he's been on a tear.
His batting average is like, I don't know, like 20 points lower, but the numbers are very similar over 14. So I love seeing that.
Yeah, he must have started taking like just a line of cocaine before every game because like he is on one. He's on something. I don't know.
If it worked, don't judge. If it worked for the 86 Mets, it can work for us. Let's make it happen, man.
Do they write anything about the 87 Mets ever? That's because they were all hung over for an entire year after. So no, I don't. Sorry to besmirch a nice AJ Pollock's name. I'm sure he's just doing a lot of water to get himself ready for these games. No judgment, but I will say, Steve, you've been preaching the gospel of AJ Pollock for a while now.
Glory to you, award.
Yeah, Jesus. But I'm not convinced he's gonna be. Look, let's put it to you this way, right? He's on a tear where he's batting like 400 over the last like 10 games. He's been batting around 400 for over a week now, and he's still only average. Nobody cares about average, but I do. He's batting at 262. Still not up to 275. Still not anywhere near 300.
Guys get off to rough starts. You wanted to hold Jose Abreu to this cold start standard. Let's do the same thing with AJ Pollock then, okay?
Well, look, okay, here's the difference though. Here's the difference because AJ Pollock doesn't average 150 games a season. AJ Pollock doesn't have a career OBP over 350. AJ Pollock isn't as good as Jose Abreu, full stop. Okay? Like, just think about this for a second. Think about this for a second. Which one of them has an MVP? That'd be Jose.
You really want to talk about the Mickey Mouse
Steve,
MVP. All right.
Steve,
let's get back to talking about this team and not individual players.
Be hard to convince you. It should not be hard to convince you that Jose Abreu is more valuable to a team than AJ Pollock. I agree with you. AJ Pollock is hot right now, and I'm happy about that. I'll celebrate it, but not until I tell you that he's not convinced me yet. Mm-hmm. See? Okay.
Now, I don't know what else you need to see out of AJ Pollock in the last 2 weeks.
I need to see him bat. I need to see him bat over 275 is what I need to see.
In the words of Carrie, right here in our comments, oh my Lord, be quiet about batting average. Yep, this is why he remains. Hot take, Tommy.
Batting average
Tom,
matters. You need to get hits to win games.
You pressed me on this, and Baloney Fonseca. I love this name in our comments today.
I believe it's Bologna, but continue.
That looks like Bologna, Bologna, right? Anyway, isn't that how Bologna's spelled? That's definitely it. Fuck you, Tommy. The team, you wanted to press me and ask me if the White Sox were hot. They are under 500 since the last All-Star break. The team has been bad for a while, top to bottom. You willing to buy that narrative?
That's a really good way to put it. It's like, if you're, it's all about the big picture, right? It's fun to zoom out and really like think about things from a like grand point of view. And that's a great way to do it, is like, what have they been doing since the last All-Star break? Because that's kind of like a full body of work, a full season, if you will, or getting close to a full season from last All-Star break to now. They were under 500 as a team. And that's what it feels like in my like soul, in my being. I'm like, this team doesn't feel, there was a comment earlier, like this team hasn't felt fun in a while. It's kind of like, it's almost boring to watch a team because like we've got these expectations that are just constantly this team is coming under those expectations. And it's felt like that. And it's because they've been bad for a while. And this like since last All-Star break, under 500, that at least that's what it's felt like. Couldn't agree more that they're bad. They're bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm just hoping that baseball karma comes around. Because obviously the White Sox had a very hot start to last season, right? They were very hot during the first half of the season.
Felt good.
And then all of a sudden they fall off, right? And they were not as hot as they should have been going into the playoffs.
No. Jose Ray was.
Jesus Christ. Now, his playoff numbers are fantastic if you want to talk about those. That's sarcasm. So
I know.
But obviously, slow start for the White Sox this year. Tony La Russa's always been a second half manager. I'm hoping that baseball karma, baseball history just come back and pick us up.
You want baseball karma? Baseball karma will not be kind to Tony La Russa, I don't think. But baseball, like career statistics might be kind. Like the back of the baseball card might be kind to Tony La Russa. But karma? I don't know.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing, Tom. I'm getting rid of Hasbullah, by the way, because for our live viewers, I was nice and cutting out a lot.
You're great. Well, you have a white background with your walls, and your shirt's white, and your head is white, and you don't have hair, so it's like you're really like blending in with everything back there.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, maybe the baseball gods don't like drinking and driving. But I would like to believe that they're a little bit more forgiving.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, but I like drinking and driving, and I was like, "Whoa, Steve, that's a strong stance. That's a strong fucking stance." You didn't say that. Thank you for not saying that.
Yes, exactly. And I think Carrie brings up a good point here. Tony has to know where he physically is before he becomes a second half manager. Lay down the bottle, bud, is all we gotta say to Tony here. And yeah, I mean, hey, this is Minoso Minute worthy asking. I don't even know if we didn't even have a Minoso Minute planned.
We didn't.
But I want to bring up a comment that Julius said here. The White Sox in their higher management here, they hired a woman on the management team. I'm not sure if that's specifically in the analytics department.
It was.
Yeah. Shelly Duncan's got to go along with some others. I will absolutely agree with that. Shit. It's just, from the top down. And I don't think the White Sox are as much of a wreck. And I was in a group chat earlier this week talking about the Bears and how much of a fucking disaster dumpster fire that organization is, and how I'm about to give up and become a Baltimore Ravens fan.
That is why.
I like the jersey color scheme.
Okay. I mean, that's okay. I'll let you finish.
They've been to a Super Bowl in the last decade.
Ray Lewis killed somebody.
And got away with it. I mean, come on now. That's skill right there. He didn't even need to go to trial, really. I mean, think about how piped up the OJ trial was. And Ray Lewis is just, killing it out here. No pun intended.
Oh my. Yeah. Well, he
But also
did
they
better than Aaron Hernandez.
in the first round of this year's draft, the Ravens took my guy Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame too.
Oh,
Got
wow.
the steal of the
So
draft.
the real reason comes out. Okay.
So
the steal of the draft. Why are we talking about football? You get mad at me. I mentioned
I know. I digress.
NBA
I'm sorry.
championship. I mentioned an
here's
NBA championship earlier in the show, and you're like, "Fuck you, shut up." And now you were talking about the Baltimore Ravens draft picks.
It's your time to tell me, "Fuck you, shut up." That's what. Okay. Because we don't need that much Tommy talk time. Speaking of which, we have a question that came in off the air yesterday, by the way.
Okay.
And I need to address it. There's a specific supporter of the podcast, but not a listener of the podcast, who wanted to ask you a question, Tommy.
Oh, okay.
So before we hop back into White Sox baseball, I got to ask you this question. At what age, if there is an age, are you going to stop going by Tommy and go by Tom?
Okay, so first of all, like, to give context to this, there's only 2 people in the entire world who call me Tom. It's you and my father. Those are the literal only 2 people that call me Tom.
The 2 most important men in your life. I love that.
Yes, exactly. The good influence and the bad influence. I'll let you decide who's who.
Here we go. The devil on your shoulder and the angel. Exactly. Keith Bakken, definitely. No government names. Definitely the angel on your shoulder.
By the way, shout out to Keith. He's battling COVID right now. He's double vaxxed. He's doing fine. He's not super symptomatic, but he's just annoyed.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll put it to you this way. How do I sign my emails? I sign them as Thomas. So if there was ever going to be a flip from Tommy to something else, it would be to Thomas, not Tom. So don't get on me with that shit.
Thomas the Choo Choo Train, right?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Woo! Woo! You sound like a very large choo-choo train.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. People are going to be listening to the podcast and be like, what the fuck was that? They're going to have it on in the background. And then they're going to be like, is Steve okay? Like,
I'll tell you what, the first person that can go in the comments right now live, or the first person that tweets at me what I just referenced right there, they're going to get a free Sons of Honarchy t-shirt.
Oh yeah, we're printing more t-shirts, by the way.
We are printing more t-shirts.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't think that change is coming anytime soon. Who asked the question? I'm interested. Was it your pops?
No, it was my fiance.
Oh, yeah. Kayla, not happening. Not
happening. I like Tom. I'm going to stick with Tom. Me and your pops. Yeah. Like I said, the 2
It's not like I introduced myself as Tom. I was like, hi, I'm Tom. And you're like, hey, Tom, what's up? I'm like, okay, well, there you go. If it's going to be that way, it's going to be that way. And now here we are, fucking like 12 years later, whatever it is.
Oh, shit.
Can we get back to Tommy Talk time? I got a bone to pick.
Oh, baby. Here it comes.
Can this team, and the bone to pick is with this team. Can this fucking team, for the love of God, get Johnny Cueto a mother effing win? The guy is 0 for 3. He's been good for us. I don't know. He's at a 3.5 ERA thereabouts, and the guy can't buy a goddamn pitcher win. Look, nobody cares.
It's almost like pitcher wins don't matter, Tom.
I hate you. See, I knew I was trying to get ahead of that and say nobody cares about wins anymore, but you beat me to it. Nobody cares about wins anymore. But you know who does care about wins?
You do.
The players. Tommy cares about wins, and the players in the dugout. They care about wins. You know this, and you know this because the last guy that got a win for the Sox, it was his first MLB win. They like dumped shit on him. Anyway, it was a whole thing. But
do you remember his name, Tom? Do you remember his name?
Fucking what was it? Was it
Davis Martin?
Yeah, there it is. He got his first MLB win. Everybody celebrated. Like, nobody cares except for the players. The players do care.
Apparently, the White Sox Twitter account cares too, because they made a whole graphic for him for his first MLB win.
Pretty exciting stuff.
Fucking stupid.
Hey, it's a career milestone. It's like, it's fun, you know.
I guess so.
And Another career milestone would be if Johnny Cueto could get his first fucking win in 2022. And he deserves it. He's pitched well enough to earn a win. So let's get him a goddamn win tonight. He's pitching tonight.
With the way our starters are struggling in the 5th inning and beyond, and with the way Tony La Russa is managing the bullpen, it's very possible Johnny Cueto's first win comes out of the bullpen this year. So.
Son of a bitch. How depressing is that? You came with that stat last week where it was he's only come out of the bullpen one other time in his entire goddamn life. Wasn't that? Yeah.
Insanity.
So he's come out of the bullpen twice. Once this year and once.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Tony. Way off the liquor, please. La Russa's Liquors. Oh my God. I just came up with the best store name ever. Seriously.
We'll open that business in our later life.
Somebody wants to fund that, I'll start a GoFundMe to start La Russa's Liquors.
Just whiskey.
There might be royalties that I have to pay there.
Well, you got La Russa's Lounge in the ballpark. Nobody sits there.
No, that could be a stand in the ballpark. It'd be even better.
We can make it La Russa's Liquors by just going to the lounge and getting really, really drunk when the team's doing bad.
There you go.
After every visit to the bullpen, go to La Russa's Lounge and get as many shots as you can.
That's it.
We could have bankrupt people.
You mentioned Cueto possibly trying to get him a win today. However, they do have Justin Verlander. The Houston Astros have Justin Verlander on the bump today.
Really hung on that ass for the Astros.
Oh, you already know. Did that on purpose. But if there's somebody that has better numbers than Michael Kopech this year, pitching wise, it might be Justin Verlander.
Yeah, he's been pretty nice.
He's been fantastic. He has an under 2 ERA and has 78 strikeouts already this year.
That's not bad.
It's pretty good. So best of luck to our bipolar offense.
Oh man, yeah, it's true.
Who knows? Johnny Cueto may shove. So fingers crossed on that one.
Cueto.
You know what? I'll talk the rest of the series later in a minute, Tom. But I have a fun segment for us to do.
Yeah.
For the next, I don't know, maybe 20 or so odd minutes, probably, right?
I mean, I'll probably get stuck on a couple things and start yelling at you. So it might take us 20 to get through this.
Yeah, and this doesn't have to be rapid fire. We're coming back to our over-under segment. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with the podcast, I'm obviously a big betting guy. Not really. Sometimes I like to bet on sports and lose my money. And that kind of reminds me too. We got a couple big announcements coming next week, hopefully. I like to play a little bit of over-under. So I'm going to give you a topic, a number, and you're going to tell me whether that number is going to be over or under for the season. We're over a third of the way through the season. So let's get to it, Tom. Over or under. The White Sox have 84 wins this year. We're going to just do team performance right off the bat right here.
So, you floated me that number, and I mean, obviously, that's way lower than what we talked about at the beginning of the season. I think we talked about at the beginning of the season like 90,
89, 90 plus, yeah.
And I was over on like 92 or 93 wherever we set it. Or that was my prediction, I think. 84 is not that number. That is much lower. So I think I'm still over on 84 wins specifically. I'm definitely over on. I don't think 84 wins the division. And I still do think that they win the division. And we'll put it this way, easy math. We've got 100 games left in the season. What percentage do they need to, what kind of winning percentage do they need to get to 84 wins from here at today? 30 and 32 is what the Sox are at now. They need to win at a 54 winning percentage, 54, 540
win percentage, and they'd have to win 54% of their games.
Yes. So that's not asking that much. That's like a team barely over 500. They go on a stretch where they win 10 out of 12 or something. And then there you go. You can kind of play 500 baseball the rest of the season and you'll be roughly around where you need to be to get there. I think that this team can do that, especially their strength of schedule. We've been talking about it a lot. their strength of schedule is the comments got me giggling, but the strength of schedule is really weak going down the stretch here. It's silly to think that like we can sweep the Tigers in emphatic fashion and think that we can't, take care of business down the stretch. So I think that we will, I don't like the way that the series is looking against the Astros, because if we were going to get a win, it should have been yesterday. We're going against Verlander, like you said.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sunday is Kopech versus Christian Javier if Kopech's healthy and ready to go. So I like that Sunday night baseball matchup,
Yeah, but I'm not convinced. Anyway, I've been talking. I think that they're over. I think they're over 84 wins for sure. And I still think that they win the division with more than 84 wins. But Steve, where are you at?
84 wins for the White Sox actually might win this division, especially if they take care of business against Minnesota. As we can see, they're struggling against really good teams. We caught a hot Toronto team, and they took care of business against us. We caught a hot Yankees team at home, and they took care of business against us, even though I'm very, very hopeful after what we saw on the road against the Yankees and how they played there. Yeah, I mean, Boston, when we had them in Chicago, took care of business against us. So against the top tier talents in the league, I don't – and yeah, I mean, this is getting into postseason talk. I don't know how we're going to fare up there. The schedule, and I was talking to Kayla, my fiance, about this yesterday because she's trying to get more invested into White Sox baseball. And I said the schedule down the stretch in August and September, outside of that road trip to San Diego, I don't think they play, and obviously Minnesota right now.
Right.
I don't think they play a single team that has like a 500 record. Or like a 5-10 winning percentage right now. So
it's suck in the postseason, but get ready for some wins. It'll be fun to
exactly. And we know that hot teams that go hot into the playoffs are dangerous as hell. And that could be the White Sox MO this year. I'm really hoping it is. I'm not ready to hang it up yet. I'm not super hopeful right now. Do I think 84 wins could win this division? Absolutely, because it's bad. Do the White Sox have 84 wins? 84, 85? I think they probably do, and they probably still maybe do win this division.
You missed an opportunity to say 83.
83. He's my favorite guy. Oh, my God. That's the best NBC Sports beer money ever.
It's so good.
Especially since the answer wasn't even close. It was 2005.
It was not even close.
So yeah, 84 wins, and we got our guy Baloney in the comments here, 54%. To get 84 wins seems reasonable, but so sad compared to what we were expecting. Yes, the expectations were much, much higher, and it's a little bit degrading to think, okay, 84 wins, win a division, and push through the playoffs.
Yeah.
But with the extended playoffs model, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities for the White Sox. Hopefully good possibilities.
Yeah.
Second over-under.
All right.
Jose Abreu, on-base percentage, his career number is 351. Right now, he is basically on that, a little bit higher if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I think he's at like a 360 something right now.
I think that
just double checking very quickly. He is at, I lost it, 366 for the year right now. Are you willing to say Jose Abreu is going to have an over 351 on-base percentage for the year? Yes or no?
Yeah, he's over. I think he's over.
Okay.
We chatted about this a little bit before getting on here, and I think you said it best, actually. So I'm just going to spit your words right back at you. He's been on a tear earlier in the season than he usually had. Like, he usually lights it up like August, September, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's on a tear, here in early June, late May, which is a good sign for the team. And a good sign for his, career numbers, because if he can straight continue this through till the end of the season, being on a tear like this, and that would be, first of all, fan-fucking-tastic, and second of all, he's definitely going to blow his, career numbers out of the water, which again suggests that Jose Abreu never dies. And he's going to be like better than Nelson Cruz, where he ages fine wine until he's out of the league.
Until he loses his dietitian, apparently, or team cook.
Cook, yeah, that's all that. See, look, Nelson Cruz, all he needed. Well, I think like the thing that I'm worried about is like maybe like chewing tobacco isn't as like common as it used to be. What if they discontinue his brand, man? Like, well, I would say this though, Jose Abreu probably can single-handedly keep the tobacco industry in business by himself. So I'm not actually worried about that.
The man loves a good lipper.
He's gonna. Over under. This is an over under on the age that Jose Abreu needs all of his teeth replaced.
83.
Yeah, I'll take the under on that.
I'll take the under on that one too. Yeah, I'm with you, Tom. I think it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be a career year for Jose Abreu this year, but I do think it's going to be a solid year and an above career average year. Just like I said, based on that early season pickup, some. What about the All-Star game?
Is he gonna make it?
Ooh, there's just a lot of good hitting first basemen in the AL. So
that's what makes his numbers all that more, or his career accolades all that more impressive, is because he's doing all this, like getting all-star appearances and silver sluggers, like 3 each, at the first base position in the AL. Like that's a big deal. People don't talk about that. I'm just saying, one of the best first basemen of all time is playing at the White Sox. For the third consecutive like position turnover, we've had one of the best first basemen in baseball. So it's just exciting. That's like, we're talking about the White Sox being depressing right now, but there's still fun things about the organization. Just to put it out there.
All right. Well, speaking of guys who hit well,
I'm sorry.
Transitioning into the next one so that you don't get on your Jose Abreu soapbox. I already
was up there for a little bit.
Yep. One guy. So this is the over-under on this one is 1. Do you think there's 1 point? Well, I should say 0.5. I'll put it at 0.5. Okay. So sure. over under. Is there going to be one guy, 0.5 player on this team with 30 homers in the regular season?
You wanted me to get off my Jose Abreu soapbox, but I cannot. He is going to be the guy that gets over 30 home runs. I don't think I see anybody else. To fuck you, Steve. It's true. Like I don't see anybody else on this team that's going to sniff that number, to be honest. I know, like, I mean, there's other guys with power, but none of them have really showed it that much to begin the season. The highest, Jose Abreu is leading the team in home runs at 9, isn't he? So
and Jake Berger's right behind him at 8. Yep.
Which is, hey, cool. Cool. But that's probably a flash in the pan. I actually picked up Jake Berger on my freaking fantasy team. By the way, I'm managing a fantasy team right now.
Fantasy baseball is AIDS. I just can't keep up with it.
It's a lot. I'm very much losing.
Oh, it's so painful. Remember when we were in that league together with a bunch of guys that I grew up with, and we finished both last and second to last?
Well, they had like these analytics that like were way over the fuck. Like they were like basing the point system off of like ex-WOBA or something, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, can't we just say like whatever team gets the most RBIs in a given week?
It really was not weighted on that. It was like a 5x5 roto, but it's just
exactly. So what the fuck
painful.
Does that mean? We're done here. We're done here. But I think that the Jose Abreu, is the one guy on the team. If we're doing it, you're saying that if there's one guy on the team that gets over 30 home runs, Jose Abreu has the potential to do it. I don't think anybody else on the roster has the potential to do it, but Jose Abreu is there. So
yeah,
there's your one guy. Where are you at on the one guy over 30 home runs?
Somehow I don't think this team has an over 30 home run guy, and I think a lot of that has to deal with Menechino magic and their plate approach. Just hit 300. Just hit 300.
Fuck the home run.
Fuck the home run, man. Gabagool. Give me some gabagool. Fucking Frank Menechino is just pain in my ass.
That's amazing.
Woke up this morning, got some gabagool.
Stop it.
You gotta woke up the next day, you got some Gabagoo.
Son of a bitch.
I
Like,
even got
12
some
people
gabagoo from a Scooby-Doo.
Literally 12 people in the world get that reference, and I think 5 of them listen to the podcast, mind you. But really quick, underrated part of this question is that Eloy Jimenez is out for an extended period of time. If Eloy is here, the obvious answer is yes. But Eloy has been out for too many plate. He's missed too many plate appearances. It's going to be really hard for him to get to that 30 number this year.
Eloy comes back at All-Star break and hits 30 homers between the All-Star game and no, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, and that's phenomenal to me to think that a team that's built on power isn't going to hit that. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong because I think this team does need a 30 homer guy.
They need a couple of them.
Yeah. Let's talk about individual players for a minute, and I'm going to start with your favorite, AJ Pollock. Okay. And I know batting average is not everything, especially in today's baseball, but you love batting average. So AJ Pollock batting 262 right now for the season, 263, something like that. I don't have the number in front of me, but is he going to hit 275 this year, Tom, over under?
He's under that number, dude. He's under that number. Like like put it to you this way. We already mentioned it at top. He's been batting at like 400 clip for over a week, and he still is at like he's not even sniffing 300 right now. Like you can't go on a tear.
He started so cold. He won't be that cold for the rest of the year.
That's my point. He's like he won't be that cold for the rest of the year, but that stretch. Like if he even like gets like close to like people go through 0 for 15 stretches. People like do that. It's just AJ Pollock does that more often than the next guy. So I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced on AJ Pollock. I don't think he gets near that 270. No. I shouldn't say that. I think he ends the season around where he is right now at a 260-ish average. I think he's got more pop than the average guy, and he might have 25 dingers with a 260 average, which is representative. And that's what we were hoping for from him, to be honest. But I don't see him at 275 average because he's just not. He's not TA. I don't know. And I know TA is going to be more than that, but you suck. You suck. He's not a contact guy. I'm done. I'm just here shaking.
You're telling me AJ Pollock is not a contact guy? He's a career 280 hitter in today's baseball. That's a contact hitter.
Well, he didn't do it the first 2.5 months of the season. So,
I said, he had literally one of the coldest streaks of his life. As we said, the baseball card numbers will eventually pop up, man. And that's what we're seeing from AJ Pollock. Okay. Yes. June and July are his hot months, and maybe he'll cool off a little bit as the weather temperatures go down. But
he's never played a full season in his entire life.
Yes, he has. I mean, it's been since 2016, I think, right?
Yeah, and he played like 100
he was also
games. So he never has played a season like actually
157 in 2015. Like I was trying to say. Anyway,
barely.
He's also platooning a bunch. He was platooning a bunch in LA.
Well,
anyway.
Okay, talk about good fucking teams with some goddamn depth. These injury problems, every team has injuries, and the fucking Dodgers have 7 outfilders that will work just fine for them. We can't compare ourselves to the Dodgers. It'll make us just frustrated. Anyway, let's keep going here before I
was gonna say I think Julius might be on
75.
I mean, 275 I think is a reasonable number. That's why I came up with 275. I think Julius is with you here. He says it's like Pollock partied too much his freshman year with the Sox and can't ever get his GPA back in the green. I mean,
it's probably
true. I said, he's hitting his hot months, and he's in the middle of his one of 2 very hot months of his career. I like his chances of batting 275. And if I don't know what you don't see. He's one of the best one of the most solid Major League Baseball hitters in the league. So
he's been good, Steve. He's been good. I am not convinced that this is the player he is. I'm more convinced that he's the player that started the season. I'm going to be honest.
Oh my God.
Hey, look.
Like I said, I cannot wait till he shuts you up. All right.
He's
Another player.
He's been getting close to that point, but has not quite yet done it.
Another player that's not lived up to expectations and still is not living up to expectations with his negative 1.2 B WAR.
Or his salary.
That would be Yasmani Grandal.
Yeah.
Over under 2 WAR for the season. I just said he's at a negative 1.2 right now. B WAR.
Yeah.
So where do you think he's going to be end of the season?
It's really tough. Like, yes, I think he's going to heat up toward the end of the season when he comes back. First and foremost, talking about being made of glass, he's not on the field right now. So, we got Sebi Zavala knocking in RBIs. I mean, it's just annoying that we've gotten more production out of the catcher position since he went down. Like that's not a good sign. He would have to heat up though. This is back to Yasmani. He would have to heat up in a big way and get he would have to accrue 3.2 WAR to get to that 2 WAR number by the end of the season, that's a tall task. So I think he's going to heat up, but I think he gets back to 1 WAR or something by the end of the season, which would be good, by the way. I don't know. It's kind of a tough break to have a player like that be as bad as he's been and then get injured. Not a good look.
No, it's awful. Yeah. And he was showing a lot of promise before that injury.
Right. Which is why the injury was more catastrophic. It was oh my God, really? Really?
Right. I mean, he's just on the 15-day, if I'm not mistaken. 10-day.
Still, it's
15-day.
But even still, you're missing enough games that it's you're gonna notice. And he'll lose his rhythm. That's the thing that matters most, is he was getting into his rhythm, right? And it's enough games where he's gonna lose it. And then we'll see if he can get right back on the horse or not. But, historically speaking, actually coming off of his injury last year, he did jump in and performed really well right away.
Beyond really well. I mean, he was incredible.
He was fucking on one.
Talk about a heater. So yeah. I think that Yasmani Grandal heater is actually, I think it's coming up. I don't see Yasmani Grandal being a negative WAR player this year.
No. When we zoom out and we think the whole year, I think you're right on that. So, but by the way, you didn't quite answer definitively yet. Yasmani Grandal 2 WAR on the season. Yes,
I think
no?
I think there's a lot of catch up to do. Maybe 1.5 for the regular season. Yeah. Lucas Giolito, our starter yesterday, who
sorry, I
didn't look great yesterday, particularly in the first inning and then again in the 6th. I don't know what it is about this. Like I said, once these starters hit the 5th or 6th inning this year,
I don't know. Yeah. It's that third time through the order, that stat that everybody knows. But,
I guess so. So right now he's not sitting pretty statistically. I'll get the baseline stats first. Yeah, I am losing you, Tommy, by the way.
We're here.
We're don't know if that's internet connection, but I'll give you a baseline ERA. He's at a 4.78 ERA right now. What do you think about Lucas Giolito getting his ERA down to 4 by the end of the year? Under that or over that?
So I like that you picked a nice round number. I know he's at 4.78 right now, and he did not look good this last time out. Giving up the 2-run bomb early and then not being able to get an out in the 5th or in the 6th rather. That's not pretty. But I think he's going to be under 4 ERA wise by the end of the season. He's going to get a lot of innings against bad teams, and he's going to get that number down. But it's inflated to the point where he's not going to be getting it under. I put down here, if you set the number at 375, I'd say over. But I think he's going to just eke his way under 4 by the end of the season. Just putting in some good work toward the end of the year. But I think well, I'll let you answer first, and then I want to present a question about Giolito. Where are you at this over under?
Oh boy. I'm going over. I don't think he's going to have an ERA. And here's the thing, the reason why I came up with 4 is I believe he's going to be at 4.
At 4.
I think he's going to be very close to that 4 number. I think it's going to be a little bit over. And it's not just like, oh, he's struggling right now. If you look, and I know you're not a big advanced statistics guy, Tom, and
I'm not out,
I know you hate FIP and XFIP and
doesn't exist, bro.
K percentage. I know you don't even like things like K percentage.
K percentage makes sense.
because you just said outs is outs.
Outs. It's true.
Let me run through Lucas Giolito's advanced statistics for the year on Baseball Savant after yesterday's outing. Average exit velocity, the balls that are coming off the bat, right? He is in the lower quartile, so 24th percentile.
That's tough.
Hard hit percentage, 16th percentile. So he's given up a lot of hard hits. Oof. Expected weighted on base average, 23rd percentile. Expected ERA, 23rd percentile.
Tough.
Expected slugging, 22nd percentile. Barrel percentage. Here's the worst one. Barrel percentage, 6th percentile.
Yeah, that's really, really bad. And that means that I think what that means is that changeup isn't fooling people anymore. Which he plays his game with like mirrors and smoke and mirrors. Like that's his game. Because he's not a power pitcher anymore. Like he's got a 95 mile an hour 4-seamer, but he relies on 2 different changeups up and down in the zone. And if those aren't missing bats or creating weak contact, like if those are getting barreled, the man's fucked. Like I see what you're coming from, but I think that the whole thing is that he can get in the get some good BPs going basically, or simulated BPs, and find a way to get his tunneling back, which is something he talks a lot about, where like you got to get the release in the same like spot as your fastball, get that change up in the same release so it looks like a fastball until about halfway to the plate. It's going to be a big thing for him, getting that like circle change back on the lower part of the zone, and then finding a way to make that upper part of the zone change look a little bit more deceptive again. But
yeah, well, anyway. I hate to be this guy, because I know everybody hates Josh Donaldson and everybody thinks that White Sox pitchers were not guilty of this. Sticky stuff, if you look at the numbers for Lucas Giolito, it's not super promising. I mean, his fastball spin is only in the 30th percentile. And if he's going to be missing bats, that's huge. I mean, he is in the 88th percentile for whiff percentage, but his walks are up too. He's walking guys. And then when he's walking guys, then he realizes, oh crap, I do need to throw it in the zone. Yeah. And when teams are making contact, he's not getting soft contact at all. He's not missing barrels. Like you got to miss barrels if you're going to be.
Can give up contact if it's like off the end of the bat or in the like near the hands, jam them up, but you can't get barreled like in the 6th percentile. That's that is what we call not good.
To put this into perspective as well, similar pitches to Lucas Giolito based on velocity and movement. His number 1 like him pitcher is Davis Martin.
Love that guy. He got his first win the other day.
Yeah. So
okay.
But if he's going to be Giolito, he's got to figure it out quick.
Yes, he does. And that was my next question to you before we move on to we got 2 more of these over-unders to get through, but I wanted to get you this question really quick. Is he our ace?
Oh.
Is Giolito our ace?
Wait, say that again?
Is Giolito our ace?
No, he's not. He's the even when he's on his best. Worst pitcher in baseball. No, even when he's on his best, and when everybody is on their best,
Right.
I would say.
Yeah.
He's the third best pitcher on this team.
Probably.
I mean, he's pitching like he's the third best pitcher on the team right now, too.
He's
unfortunately.
pitching like he's the fourth or fifth best pitcher.
Yeah.
He's like what we would expect from Vinny Velo. But
Right.
Vinny Velo is actually putting together representative pitching.
Exactly.
Performances.
Well, I mean, that's what you would expect. Yeah. Now here's the thing: we don't have an ace right now, as Julius said in the comments here. I would agree with that.
Like that. Come on, we got Johnny Cueto on the mound tonight, baby. We got Johnny Cueto.
You're funny. They have
until you can't no more.
The White Sox have two aces in the making, and that's Dylan Cease and Michael Kopech.
Yeah, I believe more. I'll tell you this: I believe more in Kopech than I believe in Cease.
As you should.
Cease blows up in ways that like he'll be going, and then it just like poof, something. I don't know what ticks off, but like just somehow they start seeing him, and then his stuff doesn't slide the same way.
Well,
like out of nowhere, he just gets less movement randomly, or his knuckle curve.
Yeah.
There was one start that I watched him. I can't freaking remember. Obviously, it wasn't against Detroit because he's like 50-0.
Detroit. He owns Detroit.
But,
yes.
I don't remember who he's facing, but I just was watching him, and his curve was not breaking, and he kept going to it, and he was getting shelled. And I was like, stop throwing the fucking curve. Like, just use your other pitches. But I don't know. Like, maybe that's his issue, is that he like, if he loses one pitch, he's not willing to like go to his other stuff that is plus. He just keeps trying to get the thing to work. I don't know. Maybe that's me overanalyzing one start, but I don't know. I believe more in Kopech is what I'm saying.
As you should. The stuff's a lot. It's a lot nastier. And when Kopech, the thing is, with Cease, it almost seems like there's a mental thing there too. When he starts to get into jams, he has a really hard time hunkering down and doing what he needs to do. Yeah. Kopech is just is an animal out there. I mean, he's just an absolute beast. I love his mentality, the way he goes out there. Yes, he's an emotional pitcher as well, but he's kind of got that fuck you emotion.
Which for you need that because it's literally the thing that, okay, to get a little like romanticizing baseball a little bit here is like the best part about it is that it's literally the most mano a mano sport in the world. It's like pitcher has ball and then batter has stick, and it's like, who's going to win? Like, that's it, and so you got to have a fuck you attitude on the mound, because it's literally, you look at this guy in front of you and be like, you're not doing shit against me, and then go from there. So that's why I love Kopech's attitude. That's why I love guys that beat their chests when they get off the fucking mound, because you need that attitude. Now, I think it's true, though, going back to the ace conversation, we don't have a guy that we can count on for game one of a playoff series, right? We don't have a Scherzer, Verlander, fucking, kind of guy, which like DeGrom. Yeah. Where you're just like, that guy wins the game, period. We just don't have those kinds of guys. But whatever, but let's get, because we got two more we got to get through. So let's get through them before we talk ourselves to death over here in the Lucas Giolito's bad right now conversation.
Exactly. So last two, they're a little bit more fun, and a little bit less analytical. Tanner Banks, does he pitch 60 innings this year, over or under?
That's way over, baby. You got to look at the injuries. There's injuries in this bullpen that are persistent, let's say. So he's going to be around for innings that we wish he wasn't around for, is what I'll say. So
no, when I'm hoping, once Liam's healthy, once Aaron Bummer's healthy, we're going to see a lot more of Tanner Banks. The guy, as much as he's a great story and doesn't have dress shirts that fit him properly, he's a career quadruple A player.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and
I'm praying it's only 60 or under 60.
So let's get him at 50 innings, please. No, what we need is to find Jimmy Cordero, pull him out from under a rock, put him in the starting fucking rotation.
Oh no. You know what? The funny thing is, you know what comes with Jimmy Cordero though, right?
Biceps.
Ricky Renteria.
Yes, that's true. Yeah,
Dude, the Ricky Renteria.
Look at this right now. Bring them both back. Do
we want Renteria back?
I mean, grass is always greener on the other side. So
right. Yeah. All right, last one, and this goes back to our last episode and conversation. Sex scandals / baby mama drama with over or under 0.5 more players by the end of the season. So will there be at least one more?
Okay, I think actually, the way that I read it first, I was like, no matter what. But the way that I read it was like 0.5 more scandals, period. And I think that there'll be under 0.5 more scandals, but I think the way that you put it is also interesting because it seems like you're saying at least one more guy on the team has to be a different person than who's already in it. Because what you might see is more people coming out.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yoan Moncada, more people coming out for TA or something, which, hopefully not. And I had a good conversation about this actually with a couple people about TA, and it's like, it's speculation. It is speculation. Let's leave it in the speculation place for now.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's just pray that there's no more sex scandals. Like, really, we don't need that. We really don't need that because the list was like 6 deep on the team.
Well,
like,
I mean, confirmed and rumored are different. And then on top of that, I think I threw Steve Stone's Love Life in there last week too. So
which was a stretch, but also fair.
I don't know. Look out for Linda Party of 8. I'm just telling you.
Not love the Steve Stone. Steve Stone thinks that this team is he doubled and tripled down on it. Steve Stone thinks this team's able to beat anybody in the league. Anybody, he said.
Yeah, and then he said that the White Sox need to take a page out of Golden State's playbook or whatever he said on Twitter. And this dude can't be comparing a team with 4 championships in 8 years compared to a team that has 1 division title in the same time.
Okay,
Steve Stone is the worst.
He's not. First of all,
on Twitter, he is. On Twitter, he is the worst. He should not have a Twitter account. He's too old.
He's having fun, Steve. You gotta have fun.
Ban old people from Twitter, please.
Oh my God, Steve. Okay, on that note, what's your final thoughts? I
like this one from my guy Baloney. We need a TLR scandal like Vince McMahon. That might be the only way we get rid of him. Obviously that would be terrible, but yes, TLR really is not.
It's going to take a lot to get him out of there.
Yes, it is. It's going to take Jerry dying or Tony having some.
To be honest,
right. I don't know. This TLR situation and the way he's managed this team makes me think that I don't know. I've always been of the thought that maybe managers really don't matter that much. But there have been some boneheaded decisions. Yeah. And I think, once again, it goes back to my bone to pick today. It's an organizational thing from the top down.
Yeah.
From the top all the way down to the players, okay? From ownership to the product on the field and the way they're performing. So, yes, TLR finger pointing is convenient and it fits a narrative for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's so much deeper than that. So, let's hope the White Sox get 1 win in Houston. That's my final thought.
I think they can. I think they can bounce back and get 2 dubs, win the series, and then scoot on out of there. That's what I'm hoping for. Look, you got to speak it into existence. Johnny Cueto, he's getting his first win of the season tonight in Houston. Book it. I
love your optimism. I really do.
Let's go. We're going to get 54 more wins. 50 more times we get to celebrate this season. At that 84 win mark, we're going to be freaking hooting and hollering. It'll be great. Don't worry. Don't worry, teams.
If it gives us an AL Central title, though, right?
True. Good point. All right. Well, that's it for me. Steve, can I ask you the age-old question here?
Yeah, why not? Let's go for it.
In Han, we trust.
Take 2 out of 3 in Houston, we must. How about that one? Have a good one, everybody. And thank you for tuning in. We will see y'all next week.